y'all ready for this?
This is djWHEAT from the Championship Gaming Series here for another set of recaps. First up, World Qualification continues when the London Mint took on the Stockholm Magnetics. First matchup was Dead or Alive Female, where Strobe from the London Mint took on Miss from the Stockholm Magnetic. Miss had a much better game than she had in the EU Finals, but ultimately Strobe, one of the major DOA sisters coming out of the UK, won 5-2, giving London an early lead. Next up was FIFA, where Chrissy B from the London Mint was looking to come back after a very disappointing loss in the UK Finals. His opponent was Istvan from the Stockholm Magnetic, a player who many fear in the FIFA arena. Ultimately, Chrissy B held the control and the aggression for the majority of the game, giving him a 2-0 victory over his opponent, and again, keeping London's lead 7-2.
Right here, Chrissy B, this guy is standing pretty tall. How you feeling right now, bro?
Just relieved. Like, before I came into today's game, I'd play like Bazza and PK, two FIFA players who aren't like rated very highly, and I'd like lost 2 and 1-1, so it's just nice for once to be one of the best players in the league.
Now, I have my own personal question. Why is it that the international players attack the game so much different than the American players?
In the European scene, the European FIFA scene is a lot bigger than the American scene. So you have a different playing style, you know, people see different bugs. Like, we see all the European bugs, Americans see all the American bugs. It's just about location, what kind of scene.
All right, well, there you have it from the man in FIFA himself. Back to you guys up top.
Next up was Counter-Strike Source, where the game came down to overtime. Both teams actually matched the other team's round scores, with one team winning 5 rounds in the first half, the other team winning 4. It ultimately came down 9-9, and in the end, it was London Mint who won the overtime pistol round to clinch the victory 10-9, making the overall score 17-11 for the London Mint. Next up, Dead or Alive Male. After Pataman took down Messi in the UK Finals, he set his sights on the EU sensation, Scattenmilla. It was a very close game, with Pataman pulling out a victory 5-4, and interestingly enough, it was Pataman who won not only inside the game, but outside, where he broke down his opponent mentally, forced him to taunt in-game, and ultimately clinched the victory because of it. This made the overall score 22-15, and there was no way that Stockholm could come back.
And now I have the beast of the man, known as Pataman. Pataman, what happened, bro? You were talking so much smack at the beginning of that match, and then you kind of got really quiet really quickly. I think even the crew in the back with the cameras got a little confused. What was going on there?
Well, I thought I might try it a little bit, but I have too much respect for Skaten, and I didn't think it was going to phase him anyway. He's cool, calm and collected. We're both great players, and we just wanted to put on a good match.
So what was up with the taunts? What were your thoughts on that? Because he was taunting quite a few times during the match.
Well, obviously they were a little unsuccessful in 2 ways. One time he gets thrown, the other time, well, he just loses the match.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, this guy here obviously doesn't seem phased. Worlds is coming up. These guys are secure. Back to you guys up top.
That made the final game Forza Motorsport 2, where the Mint took on the Magnetic in a racing battle. And it was the Mint who came out on top 5-2 in an excellent race. They may have already won the franchise, but they still wanted the game victory, and that's exactly what they got. The overall score, 27-17. Overall, a trouncing from the London Mint.
I've got the man Ben right here. Ben, walk me through, bro. What was your mental attitude after coming from that loss into this game?
Oh, yesterday was just probably the worst day in my entire gaming career. Everything that we did just fell to pieces. So I took my guys back. We had a chat around the pool, the jacuzzi, and we just had to talk over how we'd overcome the obstacle of playing on stage, because there's a few people in the team that have never done that before. So we just spoke about it, and we got a few players on our team giving them tips and stuff. Yeah, everyone was just a lot more relaxed today and really confident. You know, they honestly believed they'd win, and we did. There you go.
There you go. Well, they have locked their spot for World Finals. Back to you guys up top.
And then one question needed to be answered. Who was #1 in Europe? Would it be the Birmingham Salvo, or would it be the Berlin Alliance? In our first game, DOA Male, we saw Salvo's player Messi go up against the Tactical in yet another Ryu Hayabusa mirror match. But it was the Tactical who came out on top, and although he may have seemed nervous at the start of the match, he brought it home for Berlin. The overall score, 5-2 in favor of the Tactical, and that gave Berlin the lead. Next up was FIFA, where we saw Baza from Salvo take on Manya from Berlin. And Manya has yet to lose a match in the CGS when it came down to FIFA, and he remains undefeated. 2-0 was the overall score as Manya looks untouchable, and I can't wait to see him versus the North American talent. That made the overall score 2-7 in favor of Berlin. With Salvo down, they were looking to Counter-Strike Source to redeem them and earn back some points, and that is exactly what happened. Salvo came out of the gate on the terrorist side of the map and absolutely rolled their opponents, earning far more rounds than we expected on the attacking side. In the end, Salvo won 12-6 in a crushing defeat, which brought Salvo back into the game. The overall score, 1 point, 14-13 in favor of Salvo. Next up was Dead or Alive Female, where Sarah Lou took on Leafia. Now, both players in the EU and UK finals actually 5-0'd their opponent, so everyone was anticipating this matchup to see just how strong these two females were. In the end, it was Sarah Lou who pulled out the victory, 5-3, which brought Birmingham Salvo back into this game and gave them the lead, 19-16.
I am here with Salvo's DOA female, Sarah Lou. Sarah Lou, in that match, it looked like you guys were playing tug of war, but you pulled it out at the end. How did this go down?
Well, I was really nervous. She's improved so much more since I last played her, and I really did just crap myself, and I just managed to win.
And it all came down to one final game, Forza Motorsport 2. It set up a very interesting scenario. With Birmingham already in the lead, if they won the race, it would be over and they would be crowned EU champion. However, Alliance, they needed to get first and third place or first and second place in order to either win or tie the match up. And that is exactly what they did in an amazing Forza race, probably the best I have ever seen here in the CGS. Berlin was able to capture first and third place while trailing in fourth the entire race. It literally came down to the last turn, and Alliance ended up winning it 5-2, which tied us up 21-21 and took us into overtime. Because the final game was Forza 2, that meant that overtime, well, it took place in Forza 2, but only one lap, one crucial lap that would determine who the best in Europe actually was. After a shaky start, it was Birmingham who came out in the lead, and Davy Skills took it all the way home. Not getting touched, not getting scratched, and driving a perfect race, he wins it and clinches it for his team. Only 1 point over one lap, and we see Birmingham pull it out 22-21. They are top seed and number 1 in Europe.
So when you're laying in bed this morning, did you open up your eyes, you look around your room, and you're like, you know what, I've got a championship team on my hands? Is that what's running through your head?
No, I was thinking it's 4 o'clock again and I've woken up early again. No, we were really relaxed coming into this, the whole team. We had a really tough UK championship. That was probably more worrying. To beat the other UK side, that's probably more important for us. But to beat Berlin, that was great, but not in that fashion. I'm getting too old now. I don't want my heart racing that fast.
This is djWHEAT from the Championship Gaming Series, and it will be exciting to see just how these teams stack up when the World Finals rolls around. Peace.